Hello, hello. Welcome to the Green Door Life podcast. This is the first ever podcast that we've done. It's called Elevated Frequency. My name is Lisa Kirby. I'm the co-founder of the Green Door Life. And sitting across from me, virtually Zoom style, is Shannon Morse.
And hello, Lisa. So excited to be here. This is obviously our first time, so we're like, oh, this is new between meetings and all the things, but we're very excited because there's so much that we have to share about so many things. So
Yeah.
Here we go. So I think for this first round, we're essentially just going to be giving you guys a little bit of an understanding of who we are, why you would be listening to us in the first place, and kind of what our background and experience has been thus far to bring us to this moment where we are actually sharing our knowledge through our embodied experiences, along with what we've also had with our practical formal education. So let's start with you, Lisa. How did you get here?
Oh gosh. Well, in just kind of zooming out and in thinking about what the Green Door Life is and what we do and why we're even here talking is really this focus on holistic health, incorporating and integrating all the pillars of health. And what got me to this point, what got me here is I was always narrowly focused on one piece. And so when you're just focused on exercise or something physical and you're kind of neglecting all of the other areas of health, like mental, spiritual, emotional health, you're not going to get that kind of well-rounded, functional, happy, thriving body, And so historically, traditionally, I've always been hyper-focused on exercise and training and thinking that that was the most effective, only way to regulate my physique and stay healthy. And what I discovered over the years, regardless of the different types of modalities and training I was doing, I was always unsatisfied, cranky, moody, had crappy periods, like couldn't figure out what I'm working so freaking hard. Like, why am I not seeing like this amazingly fit, healthy body? I was sick all the time, had low energy. The mood swings were probably the worst before learning about nutrition. And then, Shannon and I met in 2018, I believe. Crazy. It feels like so long ago. And it was just it was so meant to be. And I'm so grateful every day that the universe magnetized us together and really just accelerated not only my personal, physical wellness and growth, but mental, spiritual, emotional. So it's been such a beautiful journey since then. And really, when I started learning about nutrition and working with Shannon, I started as a client and quickly ramped up to becoming a nutrition coach. And I was so blown away by nutrition science education, just like how it actually works beyond the noise of all the diets and fads and trends out there that I had been exploring for years. And so once I learned that knowledge, and it changed my life, my family's life, everyone in my inner circle, like, y'all need to do this. This is amazing. It's the best thing ever. Fixed all of my, ailments and energy issues and, women's health issues. It was when you clean that up and your physical vessel is so aligned, it opened up this new space for healing some other things in my life from like, holy crap, I would like to get my emotions in check and, tending to this spiritual side of myself that I had been neglecting for years. So in that sense, the Green Door Life has been this container for our own personal growth and this entire beautiful community that we've magnetized in the process, in starting with nutrition and exercise, but really expanding out into all the other pillars of health. And that's where we're at now. So we're really here and excited to share this information with all of you. And yeah, just can't wait. People have been asking us to do a podcast forever. So here we are.
And what's really cool about what you're sharing, and to give everyone listening kind of like a bigger view, I mean, I think everyone comes like through health and through a different doorway. Some people start with things like acupressure or acupuncture, or they go to a naturopath. And it just so happens that Lisa and I both started with like the movement because we're total busybodies. We love to move our bodies. We love to lift up heavy shit and put it back down. And that's really like where our story both started in different ways. And so regardless of where anyone might be coming in, what happens in our experience so far, and this is so cool because now, we can reflect on our own experience, but also this method that we've seen repeated so many times with clients and our coaches. So now where Lisa and I are sitting is essentially, just from my own personal experience, I was a personal trainer for so many years. I had a really thriving practice. I also had the same experience that Lisa did in terms of, really just like having the mindset of like, okay, if I'm not dying by the end of this workout, it's not an effective workout. And, slowly having to learn through doing it the wrong way, that actually is counterproductive. But regardless, that was the mentality and the mindset. And then until the nutrition piece was brought in, really feeling like I'm going to be stuck in this body. There's no way out. I don't have any control, and that sense of control was certainly element at that time. And so then building in the nutrition piece. So, and then what happens with what you were saying, Lisa, about, okay, when you have the physical and you have the blood sugar and the nutrition in place, then all of a sudden it almost allows this opening for things like emotions and spirituality and all these other layers to become, you just have more room for them, for one, but because you're not constantly thinking about, am I eating the right thing? And like, I feel like crap. But so because your baseline is now stable, then all of these other things become almost like more possible, or they're just more present. And what we've discovered through coaching coaches, I think we have like 16 coaches now.
Yes.
So wild, you guys, for anyone's listening, all of a sudden we're like, what? But from the kind of bird's eye view that Lisa and I have, is we're seeing this transformation repeated over and over and over again, and seeing that it happens over a period of time. So you get the physical stable. And then from there, through your own personal development and inside of coaching and inside of your own client journey, you start to notice different programming and belief and emotional responses and triggers that show up. And you can learn this and experience it through the doorway of food, because it's something that we do more frequently than we do anything else pretty much in our life, except like we say inside of our community, peeing, sleeping, and breathing. Breathing would be the first one, obviously. But what we're really kind of sharing here is that what we will be sharing like now and throughout the course of this podcast are the things that we learn on a daily basis, a weekly basis, with both our own journeys, the journeys that we're experiencing with our coaches, the journeys that we're experiencing with our clients, and also our continued education. Because Lisa and I love to absorb education and to apply it. I would say that's one thing we are really good at. Just like between you and me, girl, is that we love to dive into stuff. We love to immerse ourselves in it completely. And then we love to share it with other people. That is like the creation process. So this is what you can look forward to in this elevated frequency. And the reason we called it that, so that you guys can get a sense of that, is that every layer of our well-being, our physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, we can kind of see each layer as having this container of an electromagnetic frequency, a wave. And when we are vibrating at a certain frequency, it allows for so much more to be possible. So each of these layers of wellness and health are essentially a layer of frequency that we're looking to improve upon in whatever way that we can. And there's so many ways, there's so many paths and so many avenues, but we're excited to share what we've learned so far for elevating our own frequencies, and therefore pretty much the frequencies of everyone around us, which is why this community is so freaking awesome, if I don't say so myself.
Yes. Hell yes. So excited. Yeah, we like to research and do the work for you so that, you know, it doesn't necessarily come naturally to everyone. One of the things that Shannon and I have been diving into lately and absorbing is human design and how we're all physically wired differently, genetically, physically wired differently. And for us, it's like a match made in heaven in terms of like business partners, because we love, like, I always tell Shannon, I'm like, I feel like Neo in the Matrix. I'm just like plug in the program into my brain and I want to be a Kung Fu master in like 30 seconds. But that's kind of what we do. We're like, dude, I read this book or I'm checking out this thing. And like Shannon said, really diving in and then applying it, integrating it, embodying it. There's one thing to read and research all the things and then not actually like do anything with it. Then you're just absorbing information and you think you're like, I'm working on myself and like growing and healing and transforming. No, you're just reading or you're just absorbing. What's that?
I said, amen, sister.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it can kind of be like a trap because you feel like you're doing something. But what's so cool about our community and our container and our one-on-one coaching program is it is the space where, yes, you're going to learn, you're going to get that information, but you're also going to embody it, integrate it, and apply it. Mm-hmm. So we hold you to that. We hold you to that, you know, in terms of like accountability and consistency. So you actually do the work and show up and make it happen. So it's been so fun exploring all the things that we're interested in and understanding like this is one of our superpowers. We love learning. We will forever be learning and forever be students, and then sharing that information outwardly, things that light us up, and just see what resonates with everybody else.
Yes, it's such a cool part of this work and the container of quote unquote work that we've created, because it definitely feels like play in so many ways for both of us. And I just had this thought. So what if with these podcasts, we just kind of share what we're studying right now?
Yes,
because
absolutely.
That's the cool thing, you guys, is that Lisa and I are always studying in different areas. And so as we are studying, we're either sharing it with our coaches or we're further sharing it with our clients. And this will kind of give you a better indication of like how holistic this really is in the various modalities and tools that we bring into the experience of the Green Door Life, because this is the fun thing about being a business owner in a partnership, is that we essentially are always recreating, we're always testing, we're always updating and revising, not because of, you know, because a trend tells us to, but because we're listening to kind of like the pulse of the culture, the pulse of our clients, the pulse of our community, and going, okay, what is here that needs to be called in, so to speak, to really serve and support the entire ecosystem. And we're consistently thinking about that, and it's a really fun thing to do. So with that being said, Lisa, what are you studying and reading right now?
Oh Lord, so much. I would say kind of top of mind for sure, human design. I just can't get enough. Each person in my family is a different type, which is very rare. And so it has helped me be a better person, you know, have a better relationship to self, because I understand myself more now. Like, oh, that's how I'm wired. And knowing that information, what can I do to support myself better and make the best decisions and make sure I don't get into these situations where I feel like my deepest wounds come to the surface. And it also helps me be a better parent, a better partner to my manifestor husband, who's extremely rare and amazing. I was laughing this morning. I'm walking by and there's like an empty trash can on the floor and my husband's out back soaking in some sun. And I'm constantly thinking like, ooh, this could be a post. I should share this. I'm like, to everyone out there who has male, female, whatever. A lot of people like to stereotype, oh, it's such a guy thing. It's like, let's rephrase that. I know a lot of women who are like this too, but I wanted to take a picture and be like, if you see this in your house, you should look up your partner's profile and see if they're a manifestor, because they are starters, they're igniters. They're like, they come in like a fireball and start projects. And generators, which is myself and Shannon, we are the motors that keep going. We can do, like, our trap is doing things that don't have any meaning or value to us. So we have to really stay on it and be like, just do things that light us up completely. So human design's been a big one. And it also helps me be a better parent. I have a manifesting generator and a projector for 2 kids, which is also very unique, very different. The other thing, I just joined Laura Paberon's, I believe that's how you pronounce her last name, the Secret Garden container. It's a group coaching course and container talking about being triggered and how to navigate that and not make it about you. I'm already mind blown. It's only been like a week or 2. So shout out to Laura Paberon. We can link her information and free workshops in the podcast description. It's fantastic. So those are probably top 2 right now. And what about you, Shan?
Well, first of all, those are super solid. And Lisa and I in the back end have been very much geeking out about human design because we got a little company account and we've been playing around, and it's fascinating. It's such a big body of work, but so helpful to understand, why to not take things personal, like you're you, I'm me. And there's, elements of this kind of frame of understanding ourselves and others that allows us to just have more acceptance.
Yeah.
And then the Laura Paberon stuff is so good. And it very much reminds me of some of the Landmark program as well. So what I'm listing off all of the things.
Just list them.
Currently,
rapid fire.
Yeah. I would like to preface this by saying I'm always researching nutrition. I'm always researching training. So that kind of runs in the background. So it doesn't even come to the top of my mind because it's something that is automatic. So the new things come to the top of mind, and they are, I'm in an aura alchemy class, which is incredible, with the London Psychic Institute. My instructor, Daniel Pitt, is adorable, probably one of my top favorite instructors of all time. But what's cool about that is that it is allowing me to use my inner vision that I've been further developing over the last 1.5 years. But what's really cool, Lise, and we haven't talked about this yet, it's allowing me to see the different layers of our energy field with physical, relational, spiritual, and environmental within someone's space. Like, we're containing all of this information around our body, our electromagnetic frequency, it holds there. And with this class, I'm further developing my ability to see with my inner eye what's showing up for people, which is wild. Really, really cool.
Like, I want to see you assess somebody.
So interesting. Yeah, that would be a cool. Anyways, also I'm in a Tantra Kriya certification program right now, which is fascinating. I won't go into too much detail because it's massive and extensive. I'm also working with a couple mentors right now, one in India and the other here in the Bay Area, who does somatic meditation. So my study right now, that's like the new study, is very much about the subtle bodies that we are experiencing in this lifetime.
Love it.
Yeah. So, which is all part of what we experience in coaching and with clients and with anything that has to do with relationship with others. It's just this aspect that's usually felt but not seen. And so being able to identify and have a better understanding of what we're feeling on a deeper level, and also to help others experience and identify what they're feeling on a deeper level, is this kind of new layer of the coaching experience that we're able to bring into the fold.
I love it. And just tying it back, it's like, you can't even go there when you're waking up every day feeling crappy in your physical body.
100%.
Like, it's getting harder and harder for me now at this point. It's been about 4 years since I have, like, my timeline is like before learning about nutrition and after. And it's getting really hard for me now to think back to the before of like how terrible I felt 24/7. And it's like you can't even access these higher points of consciousness and just spending your energy and time in like other areas that are positive and uplifting and growth oriented when you're stuck in this physical body that you don't feel good in. So it really is such a gift for us to be in this space and have this kind of baseline program running, humming along all the time, helping people with nutrition and exercise so that we can continue, expanding and offering more to the community for those who are ready for that kind of like next level.
Absolutely. Yes, 100%. And inside of that, I think what we're speaking to here is that as we're continuing to, walk the walk and kind of build mastery in some of these areas, then we can lead others and walk next to them and show them kind of the way in that sense. And that's essentially what's just happening inside of this container. We are doing that with all of these new things in our life so that we can then do that with others when they're ready for that phase.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't be able to do that if we didn't go through it,
Totally.
From a very practical standpoint, not because we read something, but because we actually, like you were sharing earlier, we absorbed it and embodied the information as knowledge, not as education.
Yes. I don't think there's anything we share that we haven't really done on ourselves first. Like we're always like, I'm doing this. I'm the little guinea pig. And then we share about it. And I think what's so cool too is, and also speaking to our programming is that there are so many different modalities and paths with each pillar of health. Like no one's nutrition is going to look the same. No one's exercise routine should look the same because we all need different kind of inputs. And then even with like emotional support and spiritual development, you might resonate with one practice or modality. It might just like click with you and maybe not something else. And that's okay. And I think that's what's so cool about what we do is we're not trying to push any one dogmatic modality or anything really in any of these pillars. We're really like getting you in touch with your own freaking powerful intuition by like clearing and setting the foundation in your physical body. And then you can really tap into, oh, like this feels good, this doesn't. And then you become your own master in this lifetime, in this vessel, which is so fun. It's like
so fun.
I just want everyone to feel amazing. That was like my last newsletter. I'm like, if you're not feeling amazing, please come to us. We can help you.
Like it's so many people don't feel good on a regular basis in so many different ways, whether it's stress at work or their physical body or trauma, depression. Like there's so many people who don't feel good, and there's so many ways in which to support our physical, mental, and emotional body. And just like you were saying, it doesn't always have to look one way. There's so many paths to it. And just having the clarity, which can be provided by having a healthy body, first and foremost, having the clarity that comes in so that you can really tune into, is this an alignment for me? Does this bring me joy? Does this feel like something that I would enjoy doing? Or whatever the case might be, then really, like you said, like being your own master and listening to your own intuition. Is this right for me? And not feeling like someone is putting something to you that, oh, I did this and you should do this.
Absolutely.
But
yep.
I did this. This is how it works for me. You might like one element of that.
Yep.
And the rest you just toss and you just take what works for you and you move on and don't take the rest, keep the light, the load light.
Yes. I love Abraham Hicks has the analogy of like, life is like a buffet. You don't need to throw out all the other items at the buffet counter if you don't want them. You just let them there and you take the cookies and whatever else, maybe a steak, I don't know, whatever you're interested in. You take what you want and you don't need to cancel anybody else or cancel anyone else's buffet choices. You just take yours, take what resonates and move with that. That's my TED
Good
talk.
analogy for this very podcast. Life is like a buffet.
Yes. Yes.
100%. All right, when we start our next podcast, I'm going to ask you what you would choose at the buffet.
Oh gosh, it'll be a different answer now than before. Okay. I don't want to give it away, but I know exactly what I'm going to say.
Okay, great. I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Well, we're going to look back at this first episode and have a good laugh, but if you don't try anything new, then it just doesn't happen. So here we are, getting uncomfortable, doing the thing.
That's right. Thank you guys for listening, and we will see you next time. Moving forward, this is going to be very much, we'll have like certain topics to cover, kind of go through them. We're going to be listening to what people want to hear about as well in our social media. So feel free to give us a DM and let us know what you want to learn about as it relates to nutrition, movement, triggers, emotional experiences that you're having. We're going to be very authentic here. So we'll be sharing what's been going on in our own spheres and also anything to do with spiritual exploration. So
Absolutely. And if you want to find more information about us, we're on Instagram. Our handle is thegreendoorlife. And you can find us online. Our website is thegreendoorlife.com. I think those are the best two places to get in touch with us. All right. So we'll see you next week.
Beautiful. Signing out. Have a great one.